Welcome to the Women Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Amanda, the Money Healer, and today's episode is coming from our live webinars where you get to hang out with me and other women entrepreneurs to learn about money mindset, manifestation, and business scaling strategies and get your questions answered. To join us, go to thewomenentrepreneurpodcast.com where you'll see the link to register for the webinars at the top of the page. Can't wait to see you there. Welcome everyone to today's topic. We are talking about how to discover your zone of genius values to increase your income. And what you're going to get out of today's webinar is discovering your zone of genius values, really understanding how to tap into your zone of genius values, and also how your income gets stuck based on you not knowing your zone of genius values, ways that you're going to magnetize money more easily by being energetically aligned with your zone of genius, and then knowing when fear and procrastination are actually helping you. Most people want to push fear and procrastination away and they think it's a problem. But today I'm going to teach you how it's actually something that's helping you understand when you're out of alignment. And then we're going to talk about how to scale your business from your zone of manifestation. This will increase your income naturally and automatically. So let's start by breaking down zone of genius, values, and working genius. And these are three topics to me that are the overarching umbrella of you living in your genius. And there are different types of tools that I've used in my 5 years of being in business where when I started, I really didn't know myself very well. And I had a hard time understanding my gifts in the world. And I felt a really intense level of low self-confidence. And a lot of that was because what happens when you're raised in a situation where, let's say your family doesn't cheer you on in the way that you need. And this is in no way to beat your family because my parents supported me. They loved me. They always told me, like, hey, you're doing great. I just didn't understand what my actual genius was. And so what I did was to defer to things that people told me I was good at or things that I got praised for. And as animals, we are always seeking pleasure over pain. So anytime someone praises you for something when you're a kid, you tend to think that that's something good to do, whether it's aligned for you or not. And so an example of this would be, when I was young, as a little girl in the world, I was taught it's great to get good grades and to be nice and play by the rules. And in my genius, those aren't necessarily things that are my highest plays to my strength, right? Those are things that actually I was just taught and conditioned to do. So when we're thinking about our zone of genius, this is a concept that comes from Hendricks. The term itself comes from Hendricks. If you haven't read his book, it's an absolute must read. It's called The Big Leap by Hendricks. He coined the term zone of genius. Now, when he's talking about zone of genius, what he's talking about is this zone in your life that you break through to where you're focused and you feel like you could do it all day. You enjoy these things. And it's usually people telling you you're good at them. And you're so good at them that you think, I don't even really know how to identify it because it just seems very natural to you. And he categorizes this in 4 areas. He says you're either in your zone of incompetence, your zone of competence, your zone of excellence, or your zone of genius. And when you are having a hard time breaking through into your zone of genius, it's because you've got what he calls upper limit problems. And upper limit problems will cause you to self-sabotage and stay in your zone of excellence. And when you're in your zone of excellence, you're not magnetic to money because you tend to get more burnt out. Then we've got Demartini, and Demartini is the person who I've worked with for many years and have different certifications from him. So he has a values determination process, certified in this process. And values in this way, you want to think about as in 2 ways, axiology and teleology. So the term axiology has to do with the study of worth and value. And this is in some ways a traditional sense. When we think of values, it's like what creates meaning in your life? What do you value in somewhat of a moralistic sense? Teleology is about meaning and purpose. It's your chief aim. So if you break down the word teleology, it's a Greek roots, right? So the word telos means end, and the word logos means reason. So your explanation is that it's the end goal, the purpose. When you think of the word telescope, you're thinking about the end goal, the end in mind, the chief aim, something that's teleological. Okay. And so when you're thinking about values from this place, this is things that your life demonstrates that you highly value. These are things that you're going to be doing every day. So if I came and spent time with every one of you, I could see within probably one day what your values are, because your life will demonstrate your values very clearly. And in this conceptualization, your values will change over your life course. And the things that will change your values are aging, so developmental trajectories, cataclysmic events or big events that are life-altering, like having a child, getting married, having an illness, getting divorced. Those types of things will change your values, or choice. You can just choose to change your values. So these are a little bit different than Zone of Genius, but you can see how they overlap. Now we've got another layer. This is another certification I have. If you all don't know me yet, my highest values, I've always tell people, are teaching and learning. So I love, love, love to learn. I get I read everything I can. I'm constantly growing. I love it because it keeps my mind active and in this state of, I would say, innovation. And so there's another concept that has been added recently called working genius. And this is by Pat Lencioni. And he came up with the 6 types of working genius. And these are very specific to work that you produce in the world and projects. So how do you run through a project? What is your working genius type? And so lately, what I've been doing is combining all 3 of these into what I call Zone of Genius values, because to me, these 3 combine to help you really understand why you're stuck. And I love to help people get into their zone of manifestation, because in your zone of manifestation, this is where you have the easiest opportunity to attract money your way in your business. It's where you are focused, intentional, you are in action, your fears will be reduced. You will take inspired action without being told to do anything. And what will happen is, because those things are such a high vibrational frequency, you will end up attracting to you bigger and easier opportunities. And you want to stay in this zone of manifestation because it makes life a lot easier. One of the biggest money blocks that people have is that it's hard to make money. We've got to work hard to make money, or it's not okay to make easy money. You've got to earn it, and when I say that in quotes, it's like you've got to work hard and earn it and prove that you're valuable. Otherwise, you don't deserve that money. It's like this concept of, why me? Why do I deserve easy money when some other people are working really, really hard for it? So when you're in your zone of genius values, you feel good. You attract easier opportunities. You reduce your fear, your shame, your guilt, your doubt, your uncertainty, and you're taking inspired action every single day. And so I love to combine these to help you understand why your income gets stuck. Now let's think about this perspective. When your income is stuck, I want you to think of it as a symptom and feedback for you to understand that something's out of alignment. Okay. If your income is stuck and not flowing, it means something is out of alignment. And when I say something is out of alignment, what that means is you are causing resistance somewhere. So the number one thing that causes you to not manifest instantaneously is resistance. And this resistance can show up in the form of fear, procrastination, uncertainty, a lack of a plan. It could show up as even illnesses. It can show up as you waking up in the morning with a foggy mind. These are all points of resistance. And remember, the way that the law of attraction works is that you are sending out a signal to the universe from how you feel. It's not your thoughts, because if I would imagine, let's say we had thousands of people on this webinar and I asked every single person to raise their hand and say, who wants to be financially free? 100% of the people would raise their hand. No one doesn't want financial freedom, right? Like, we all want financial freedom. But then if I asked who is actually financially free, only 1% would raise their hand. So what's the discrepancy there? Because everyone logically thinks, I want to be financially free, right? But their feelings are causing resistance, which is what I call competing commitments, where 95% of you, your feelings, your beliefs that are unconscious, are fighting and battling against the 5% of you that's conscious. So in manifestation, think about the term manifestation is you actualizing a goal. That's really all manifestation is. So you set in mind a goal with your conscious thoughts. And then how quickly it comes to you and how easily it comes to you is the 95% of you. It's how you feel energetically about the thing that you've set out to accomplish. So when we talk about magnetizing money by being energetically aligned, what that means is that your state of being is 100% aligned. Okay. I know that everyone here has probably manifested something really quickly and easily. And the reason for that is because you didn't have any resistance. You knew it was 100% possible. And so it happened really quickly and easily. I always like to give the example of a simplest version of manifestation would be like me getting my tea this morning. Well, and actually I manifested my husband doing it for me, which was awesome. Thank you, Abe. So it's like I have this thought, I want a cup of warm tea. And there it is, right? I manifested this. That's as simple as manifestation is. The problem is that we start to put up blocks when we think we want bigger things. We start to put up the resistance because we start to doubt ourselves and we go, I'm not sure if that's possible. What if it takes too long? Maybe I'm too old. Oh, I shouldn't want that because people told me it's wrong to want that. What if that goal is too big? I mean, on and on and on the doubts go. And that's 95% of you, whether it's conscious or not, that's what you're manifesting. And that's what's blocking your attraction. So this is how I want you to experience fear and procrastination. Anytime you notice yourself afraid, you want to start to think, am I out of alignment with my zone of genius values? Because when you're in full alignment with your zone of genius, fear gets very reduced. You might have moments of fleeting fear, but ultimately you're going to feel really damn confident. You're going to be like, I want this. I'm going for it. I'm 100% committed. And so anytime that fear pops up, you'll just go, oh, you'll remember Dr. Amanda's acronym, fear, the future expectation of awful results. You'll remember, oh, I've got to reframe my mindset into a place of possibility and alignment. And then the fear moves away. Okay. So anytime you're in fear, just remember somewhere I'm out of alignment in my system. Either I'm saying I want something that isn't in alignment with my zone of genius, or I'm doubting myself, which ultimately let me step more into doing the things I enjoy and the fear will start to drop. Similarly, procrastination. When you are fully in alignment with your zone of genius, your working genius, your zone of genius values, you will be in action every single day. Nobody had to get me up this morning and be like, Amanda, read that book about leadership development. Amanda, you have to get online to do this webinar. No way. I could do this webinar all day long. I love being here with you, right? That's because there's no procrastination. There's no doubt. There's no fear. There's no worry. I get on, I take a couple minutes of notes and I'm like, bring it on. Let's do it. This is fun for me, right? Because I'm in my zone of genius values. So anytime you're procrastinating on something, you want to be thankful for that procrastination. And you want to say to yourself, how is this a symptom of me being out of alignment? And what do I do right now to shift into being in alignment with my zone of genius, right? This will help you scale from your zone of manifestation to increase your income. I can't tell you how many times I've had, here's a great example. A couple weeks ago, Abe and I, it was a Monday morning, and we had a full schedule of stuff written down to do. And in the morning, I was like, we got to read this book. Like, I don't know why, I just know that we've got to read this book. And we're putting everything on our calendar off for today, and we're going to read this book together. And we did it, and it led to opening up an entire new business. For me, what happened was I got that inspiration, and it was in alignment with my zone of genius, which is to learn. I love, love, love learning. As I said, I love teaching. And I thought, I don't know why this book is calling to me, but I'm going to follow this path. And when you follow those paths, what happens is that your zone of manifestation expands and easier opportunities come your way because you're sending out a signal to the universe through your energetic frequency that causes it to be matched, and then opportunities come your way. Okay. So what you want to do is do things that are bringing you joy. Do things that are in your highest enjoyment. And so let's go back to that. When we say discover your zone of genius, I want you to write down everything that you enjoy doing. I mean, I don't care if it's funny because sometimes people will go like, that can't be my zone of genius. Like it's organizing my shelves in my kitchen. Okay, maybe part of your zone of genius is being someone who likes to be organized. How can you then have that be an enhancement in your business? Okay, so don't shut anything down that you enjoy to do. It's all giving you clues about what you enjoy doing. Alternatively, write down every single thing that you dislike doing or hate doing. Those are the things that you want to drop, automate, and delegate. And those are going to be clues as to what you want to, as you grow your business, Find people who that's in their zone of genius that you can delegate to. And so if people don't know their zone of genius, definitely plug into my Zone of Genius audit. So it's zoneofgeniusaudit.com, zoneofgeniusaudit.com. This is where we work together for 90 minutes, help you repackage and repurpose something from your zone of genius. I help you with a working genius assessment. The reason these things are so important is because it is your gold mine in your relationships, in the way that you make money, in the way that you attract clients, in the way that you scale your business, in the way you do social media. It's amazing to work with people on social media and they're like, I hate social media, but I have to do it. Anytime you hear yourself saying you have to do something, you automatically know you're sending out a message of resistance. So that social media you're putting out in the world isn't going to be magnetic because you are resisting. And remember, I love this quote by Abraham Hicks. They say, you can't have a happy ending to a miserable journey. Another way to say it, and I love to say it this way, is you can't get what you want doing what you don't want to do. So you can't have this daydream fantasy. I'm going to scale a business I love. I'm going to make easy money, but then I'm going to spend every day in stress and fear and doubt and uncertainty. Those two things are impossible outcomes, right? If you're stressed every day and fearful every day and feeling stuck, you cannot create a happy ending. You're not sending the signal for that. So in the law of attraction, you want to be going, okay, am I aligned doing things I enjoy? And how can I have those things I enjoy in an aligned state of being, doing the things I love to do the most in my genius? How does that attract business my way? And every day I want you to wake up and ask yourself those questions. What brings me joy? Do more of that. And what don't I like? Let's say it's something essential in your business, find someone to delegate to. And this doesn't have to be a whole team member. It could be an outsourced tool. It could be a VA. It could be a Fiverr person. It could be someone in your family. It could, there are many ways to delegate. Don't get stuck in the mindset of thinking delegation costs money. It will always make you money. And there are creative ways to delegate. So I'm just going to summarize and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. So remember, we want to get into our zone of genius values. This is going to give us the highest possibility of your income increasing over time. Over the years, you'll notice a steady increase in your income when you're in your zone of genius. You're going to be able to magnetize money by being energetically aligned because you're going to understand how the law of attraction works through your vibrational frequency being in a state of joy and flow and fun. You're going to attract money more easily. Then you're going to understand that when fear and procrastination are happening in your reality, those are symptoms saying to you, hey, you're out of alignment. Get into alignment. Instead of being upset with yourself and going like, why do I have so much fear? Why am I procrastinating? You're going to go, oh, thank you, fear and procrastination. You're helping me see that I'm out of alignment. You're helping me see that I need to start delegating some stuff. You're helping me see that I need to go back to the things I really, really, truly enjoy. And this will all help you get into your zone of manifestation to increase your income. Thank you for listening to the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. If you want to learn actionable strategies that magnetize money as a woman entrepreneur, go to thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com to register for an upcoming webinar. These are interactive webinars where you'll get to hang out with me and podcast fans live for powerful lessons about money mindset, manifestation, and business scaling strategies. Plus, there's live Q&A to get all of your questions answered. Again, go to thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com and click on the button to register for a live webinar now.